There's me, suffocating in the abyss of space that is almost as empty as my phone notifications after I get a shower. How did I get here, I hear you wondering? Long story short, don't drive through redneck territory pumping NWA. I did die, however I don't have time to be dead. The Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show comes out in a week. I woke up in a hospital that had regular hospital things, such as guns, and military-grade death robots. The death stands for theirs. We went to leave, but then Miranda showed up, dramatic entrance in tow. Deja vu aside, we left the hospital and had a Zoom call with a terrorist. That's a sentence I bet you never thought you would hear. He was like, Shepard, you're kind of a big deal, bro. Want to help us save some abducted colonists? And I was like, sure, all nonchalant. But inside, I was stoked to be working with an actual terrorist. I didn't think I'd ever get the chance to live my childhood dream. Actually, it was being a Power Ranger, but still, pretty sweet. Now it was time to meet my team. This is Miranda. She looks like she's a genetically modified organism, but I'd still hit. Then there's Jacob. He seems like a cool guy to have a beer with, if said beer was laced with arsenic. Them and my paraplegic pilot would be helping me in my quest to save the galaxy. I sure hope no one in it likes living. Once on my new ship, Miranda suggested going to Omega to recruit Morden Solus. I shot that down and immediately headed to Omega to recruit Morden Solus. Never let them know your next move. I added this random homeless guy to the team, and then decided to mess with everyone's heads some more by going after Archangel. I explored this base, and then this pilot died from what was probably natural causes. After a top 10 anime betrayal, we found Archangel, who wasn't a Transformer, just a former member of my crew. There's $20 I won't get back. Gambling addiction aside, I slaughtered what was probably some lunch ladies and school teachers until a helicopter showed up. This was a big deal. Or so I thought. I took it out in like 10 seconds. We medevaced Garrus and then made fun of his injuries to his face. Or at least what was left of it. I then forced him to go to this plague zone with me. There were other people that could have gone, but I wanted him to know where we stood. I hate double standards. A woman can say that something's hard, and nobody sees a problem with it. But I say I'm hard, and everyone's like, WTF are you doing? Get out of the woman's bathroom. I found Morden, who absolutely refused to touch my balls, no matter how much I insisted. Not that type of doctor, I guess. He wouldn't drop the important work he was doing and come with me, a complete stranger, unless I did a favor for him. Can you believe his audacity? Said favor involved minimal bloodshed. In all seriousness, we probably killed more people in a half hour than this plague did in its entire existence. After we finished saving the city Avenger style, we went to the Amazon rainforest because the people there also needed saving. And by needed saving, I mean from us. After breaking every single OSHA guideline, we broke every tenet of the Geneva Convention and found one of Zai's old friends. They had some differences, but thankfully they were able to peacefully work them out. We then went to what I can only assume is the nicest part of Detroit. Just like in Detroit, there were talking dinosaurs and gun violence. Speaking of guns, in the first Mass Effect, your weapons had infinite ammo and overheated if they were fired for too long. In Mass Effect 2, guns now require thermal clips to fire, because taking away the Miranda butt shots wasn't bad enough. We found the Krogan we were supposed to recruit, but then he died, so we took this one that was still in its packaging. No one wanted me to free him, so I did exactly that, which resulted in a fight not dissimilar to the fights me and my drunk stepdad would have. Except this time, it was me with the gun. I headed to the Citadel, where I recruited this Twitch streamer and went to go meet with the new council. In my Mass Effect 1 video, I killed the previous council, something the new one was still upset about. Honestly, grow up and take a joke. I concluded my time on the Citadel by forcing these small businesses to give me discounts, an action which got me sent to prison. I'm kidding, that didn't send me to prison. It was the 28 starving Mongolian children that Protective Services found in my basement. They tried to put me in this cell, but I simply refused, a right that not many prisoners know they have. I killed every guard, prisoner, and even the warden himself. Once I completed my team of hobos, psychos, and annoys, a colony got attacked by the collectors. Notice how this colony is made up of only humans? The year is 21 whatever, and people are still doing segregation. Honestly, they deserve what's coming to them. On Horizon, there were these bug-like aliens that must be the collectors, since the only other group that kidnaps this many people at one time are white men in the 18th century. We found this Wi-Fi router, which we turned on, hoping to play some Angry Birds. Except all we got was the black one, if it did black tar heroin. Once it was slain, you get the idea, we totally on purpose let the collectors get away. And even worse, Caden Alenko is here. Sitting here listening to him whine made me wish I was abducted. Once the lecture was over, I took a break from the action and went out shopping. That was extremely boring, so I resorted to art stealing and art breaking. Security wasn't too happy about that. Getting through them wasn't a problem since they had the fighting ability of autistic pandas. We concluded our day of fun with this boss fight that was more underwhelming than the party for my 8th birthday. I asked my mom for Shaquille O'Neal. Instead, I got a homeless dude who causes a 6.0 magnitude earthquake every time he plays hopscotch. That mission was a lot like a GTA heist, except there was no middle-aged neckbeard in my ear taking 80% of the cut. After a FaceTime from the retirement home, we went to Toto by Africa where we found another one of my old target practice dummies, I mean crewmates, who started rubbing her mouth on my visor. I would need to pick up some Windex. Speaking of blasts from the past, my number one fan was also here, trying to rob a convenience store. I'm honestly disappointed. I thought my influence was strong enough that he'd be trying to blow up the Pentagon by now.
Conrad, let me make this perfectly clear.
After I diplomatically resolved the situation, I went late night shopping where I found the security where having a late night genocide without me. I joined in on the fun and then found a dying Solarian.
I can't breathe. Please help me. My chest is.
Come on, he can't help us anymore.
After I did everything I could to save him, we fought through the tilted tower like it was Chuck E. Cheese. Except instead of great pizza and a chill rat, there was just us, cyberbullying little kids. Some OSHA guidelines were broken, and then we found this very much alive woman who then wasn't so much alive. We didn't have an assassin on the team yet. The closest thing was that weird fanfic website that Jacob uses. That'll make you want to kill yourself. Thane joined not for the noble cause of working with me, but because it was a suicide mission? Questionable motivation is still motivation. Once we took turns belittling him, we went back to whatever I called the planet 5 paragraphs ago, and found Samara, who's in the middle of causing a scene. My type of woman. I planned on just taking her and leaving, but her boobs have a way with words. I mean she has a way with words. Once we got past the bouncers, this woman tried to show us her gun. Unfortunately for her, it shot Chinesian bullets. We prevented a second 9/11 and instigated a fight. We then got into an altercation ourselves. Once it was over, we found Samara's Hello Kitty iPad and dropped her to our team. We then went to Phoenix, Arizona. But instead of Devin Booker and the Suns, there are these robots that were really easy to kill. One futuristic drive-by later, we took down this escaped giraffe and added Tali to our NBA roster. It would be great to have her, I don't even know, tech support skills to fight the dangerous aliens that are the collectors. I also don't know why I made 3 basketball jokes in like 20 seconds. I wonder if that's a record. Anyways, on the ship, I went around and listened to everyone complain about their problems. I used to think being a leader was about bossing people around, and now I know that it's listening to people whine about their issues and pretending like you wouldn't rather be injecting battery acid into your bloodstream. The game forced me to help Jacob, which turned out to be as interesting as The Last Jedi. Nothing eventful happened except for when I pranked Jacob by having him make his dad commit suicide. Remember that collector ship from earlier? The one that looks like it came out of a butt? Well, it had run out of gas, and us being the good Samaritans that we are went to help it. And by help, I mean stealing from their pantry and slaughtering their newborns. Once we finished our conquest, we went to leave, but got stopped by the Clash Royale Mega Minion. All of my deaths are on IGN for telling me to bring Garrus and Jack as companions. The other day, my friend asked me what my favorite game was. I told him Mass Effect 2. I changed my answer to SpongeBob Truth or Square for the Nintendo Wii. Once we triumphed over the mutated pigeon, we skedaddled the collector ship and then managed to go somewhere that was even creepier. Maybe this would be one of those places that just looked creepy and was abandoned. Never mind. We took out these bowling balls and found the McDonald's freezer room. They sent hordes of zombies after me, but the Reapers, the Illuminati, the Covenant, whoever were footing this video, didn't anticipate me being a BO2 zombies prodigy. Once we took out the nightlight, we grabbed this asleep robot and left quicker than Kevin Durant did in 2016. On the Normandy, I let the killer robot join our team, and then made the mistake of talking to Samara. She basically said that her daughter belongs to the streets, and she wanted to kill her for it. Perfectly reasonable.
We found her in this club, where I gaslighted her into taking me to her apartment. I don't even know if that makes sense, but anyways, Morinth tried making me put my Minecraft bed next to hers, but little did she know that I have enough willpower to tell my barber that I don't like my haircut. Morinth was psychotic and a mass murderer, so I let her join my team, since Gary Vee says it's always good to surround yourself with like-minded people. My next task was to stop Thane's son, who decided to play Hitman IRL. We went to the Citadel, where we started conducting our own investigation. This was just like Law and Order, but instead of iced tea and a catchy intro, we assaulted and threatened civilians. We didn't stop the contract, but me and Thane were able to bond over his son becoming a murderer. I can't relate at all. The only way I'll know what my kids are doing is if they get drafted to the NBA. Back on the ship, Karma struck back through the collectors, abducting my entire crew. Well, almost everyone. They left the crippled pilot. If Twitter existed in this universe, BTS stans would cancel them quicker than they did me. It's a long story. Undermanned and under-equipped, we race after the collectors. This is the part of the game where if you pursued a romance, a sex scene would appear. I'm too lazy to form even real-life relationships, so I was forced to look at Liara. I honestly forgot I romanced her, that's how mid the sex was. On the other side of the scary relay, we gracefully landed on the collector base, all while only losing 2 squad mates. And it wasn't any of the ones I liked. Our plan was to sneak through the collector base, which didn't happen since we have the stealth capabilities of tap dancing flamingos. We fought through the guards, all while only losing Jacob. Only if Legion, Grunt, and Morden could all go next.
Fortunately, Morton did not make it.
I've lost like a quarter of my team, but we can still win this. I'll probably have to sacrifice the rest of them, but it'll be worth it. Well, not for them. We found that weird toy from Toy Story and did what Buzz and Woody should have done all those years ago. Our victory was short-lived from the elusive man calling to tell me about my car's extended warranty. I don't even own a car. The judge won't let me after I hit that family of 4. Family of 3 now. I made my getaway in the most dramatic way possible and completed our mission of blowing up Taiwan, with only a couple of casualties. With the galaxy saved, I headed off to start my 4-week journey of making a YouTube video.